Okay, well today we're going to talk about breads and cereals and how to look for the healthiest choices when you're grocery shopping. Breads are the first place you want to start. Now, you hear that wheat bread is healthy, has a lot of fiber, and that's what you want to buy. But the problem is that a lot of packages are very misleading. For example, this wheat bread here, you would read this and think, great, wheat bread, it must have a lot of fiber, I'm going to get this one. But the problem is when you look at the label, you'll see that one slice of bread contains less than 1 gram of fiber per slice, so that's pretty low. You want to look for a bread that contains at least 3 grams or more of fiber per serving. So even though this says wheat bread, this is super low in fiber and would not be a good choice. Now this bread, for example, this says 100% whole wheat, so it sounds a little bit healthier. And when you read the label, you'll see that one slice has 3 grams of fiber, so that'd be a great choice. This would be a lot healthier. Fiber helps lower your cholesterol, also helps keep you more regular, a very healthy thing to include in your diet. You want to get about 25 to 35 grams of fiber per day. So this would be a healthy choice for bread. If you're going to make a sandwich, then you'd double that, so you'd have 6 grams of fiber. So each slice is 3 grams. You can even find breads that have 5 grams of fiber, which is even better. Tortillas are another thing that people often get confused about. Now, for example, these tortillas here say garden spinach herb. Looks really healthy. Somebody might get this and think, wow, what a great choice I'm making. Now, the problem is when you look at the label on the back of the package, first of all, one tortilla contains 210 calories, which is a high amount of calories. Also, the fiber amount is only 1 gram. And when you look at the ingredients, you're going to see partially hydrogenated oil on the ingredient list. And that means that that contains trans fat, which is not healthy at all. Trans fat is not heart healthy. It will raise your bad cholesterol and lower your good cholesterol, which is the HDL cholesterol. So trans fat will raise that LDL cholesterol, which is the unhealthy cholesterol, and lower the good cholesterol, the HDL. So you want to avoid products with trans fat. Now when you look at the label, it says it doesn't contain any trans fat. It says 0 grams. But it's important to remember that legally a company can list trans fat as 0 grams if the serving of that food contains less than 0.5 grams of trans fat per serving. So because this probably contains less than 0.5 grams of trans fat or the partially hydrogenated oil, that's why they're able to say it's 0. So you've got to check the ingredient list. So again, this tortilla, very high in calories, contains trans fat, and is very low in fiber. Now these tortillas say yellow corn tortillas. Corn can be a great source of fiber. When you read the ingredients, you'll just see ground corn, lime, water, and a few preservatives. So very, very healthy choice. 2 of these tortillas, which would about equal to 1 of these larger ones, so 2 of them contain only 110 calories, so about half of the amount of calories that were found in just 1 of these. And they contain 3 grams of fiber, so that'd be a great choice. So this is something no trans fat, lower in calories, and high in fiber. So these yellow corn tortillas would be a very healthy choice. Now it's important to remember when you go to the store, there are some yellow corn tortillas that you might find trans fat in. So you've got to check each product, each different brand, and really read those labels to know what you're getting. And then we have cereals. Cereal is a great way to get a lot of fiber in the morning. Some people eat cereal for a snack, for dessert, for breakfast. It's a great choice. But there are so many cereals on our grocery store shelves, so you've really got to know what you're looking for. For example, this one here, this is a Golden Graham cereal. When you read the label, you'll see, first of all, the calories are about 120 calories for 3/4 of a cup. That's okay. But then you're going to look down and see the fiber is only 1 gram of fiber. So that's very, very low in fiber. And cereal is a great way to get your daily fiber. So if you pick this kind of a cereal without much fiber, it's really going to be tough for you to get the fiber you need throughout your day. Also, the sugars, this contains 11 grams of sugar, so it's a little bit higher in sugar. So something like this, the calories are usually okay in most cereals, not too high. But again, it's low in fiber and high in sugar, so it wouldn't be the healthiest choice. A cereal like this one, Fiber One, you can tell from the name of the cereal that it probably is higher in fiber, and it is. When you look at the different ingredient or the ingredient list and the nutrition facts here, you'll see the first ingredient listed is whole grain wheat. So that's a very good first ingredient to have. The calories here for a whole cup, it's 160 calories. And then the fiber, it contains 13 grams of fiber. That's very, very high. So 13 grams as opposed to the 1 gram in this cereal. And then the sugars, it contains only 6 grams of sugar versus the 11 grams found in this higher sugar cereal. So this would be a very, very healthy choice for your breakfast cereal, for a snack, or for your dessert. So next time you go to the store, take a look at the different cereals and breads and really read those labels to try to pick the healthiest options.